Hello guys, I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to our channel series on enhancing your IELTS vocabulary. Today's topic is the law and crime. As you may already know that the law and crime is a very popular IELTS topic. It is particularly common in speaking part 3 where you are expected to discuss the topic in a more general way and in a greater depth. Likewise, you could be asked to write about law and crime issues in writing task 2. So now guys, we are discuss important vocabulary words related to law and crime. Let's begin. Criminal, meaning a person who commit a crime. Example, criminals who commit violent crimes should not be given probation. Let's begin. Guilt, meaning having done something wrong or committed a crime. Example, if jurors, the member of jury, find a defendant guilty, then that person must be punished. Let's begin. Heavily fine, meaning to charge someone a lot of money since he/she has violated a law or regulation. Example, Harry was heavily fined for speeding. The company was heavily fined for polluting the river's water. John was not only thrown into jail but also heavily fined. Let's begin. Enact, meaning to make into law, to put a law into practice. Example, the law was finally enacted today. The state debt penalty law was enacted in 1972. Let's begin. Consequently, meaning as a result, therefore, used to say something that happens because of something else. Example, she did not like the pudding, consequently she threw it all away. Jack decided not to use a map, consequently he got lost and never found his way out of the forest. He did not study for his test, consequently he failed. Let's begin. Legalize, meaning to make something become legal. Example, the government won't ever legalize the drugs trade. Let's begin. Solid evidence, meaning very convincing evidence. Example, Mr. Thomas is not worried because he has a solid evidence. There is a reasonably solid evidence against him. Let's begin. Taken into a consideration, meaning take a look or take into account or consider. Example, the judge took into consideration the fact that it was her first offense. The judge took into consideration that he used no violence in the commission of his crime. Let's begin. Confine, meaning restrict or limit. Example, why do you confine me? It is cruel to confine a bird in a cage. Let's begin. Comply with, meaning follow or abide by. Example, John failed to comply with the requirements of non-custodial sentence. All employees in the company must comply with our guidelines. Let's begin. The crime rate, meaning the ratio of crimes in a particular area during a period of time. Example, the crime rate is decreasing in England. This country has the fastest growing crime rate in the world. As a result of more unemployment, the crime rate in the area is increasing. Let's begin. Offenders, meaning people who commit crime, illegal acts. Example, the number of offenders has climbed in many countries over recent decades. The more laws, the more offenders. Let's begin. Commit a crime, meaning to do something wrong or illegal. Example, a person who commits a crime is a criminal. Tom committed a terrible crime. Let's begin. Justice, meaning fairness in the way people are dealt with. Example, those who commit assault must be imprisoned because the victims want justice. Let's begin. Release, meaning to set free from prison. Example, he was sentenced to 7 years in prison but was released after 4 years for good behavior. Some prisoners who are sentenced to jail for life will never be released. Let's begin. Obligations, meaning Things which you must do because it is your duty or commitment. Example, if you have an obligation to do something, it is your duty to do that thing. We have a legal obligations to pay our taxes. Thomas did not fulfill his obligations. Let's begin. Jury, meaning a group of people chosen to decide in a court of law if someone is guilty of a crime or not. Example, to ensure fairness in a criminal trial, there must be a jury. Let's begin. Easy money, meaning money that is made without working hard and sometimes dishonesty earned. Example, he started stealing as a way of making easy money. Some criminals steal from banks or houses as a way to make easy money. Let's begin. Break the law, meaning to fail to obey a law, to act contrary to a law, to do something illegal. Example, doctor who break the law face up to 2 years in prison. Thomas did not break any laws. Let's begin. Unregulated, meaning not controlled or supervised by law or rules. Example, as a result of unregulated fishing, there are now almost no fish in that part of the ocean. Unregulated use of the island in the study area could result in minor or moderate impacts to wildlife. Let's begin. To enforce strict regulations on, meaning to make sure a tough punishment to people if they do something against the law or regulations. Example, due to the high quality requirements of medical systems, regulatory bodies enforce strict regulations on how products are created. The police had to enforce strict regulations on the people so that they would stop polluting the river. Let's begin. Obligatory, meaning compulsory, something that you must do because of the rules or the law. Example, it is obligatory for us to obey the laws. In low-rise buildings, the use of stairs should be obligatory. Let's begin. Burglary, meaning the act of entering a building illegally and stealing things from it. Example, he had been caught in committing burglary and forgery. He is serving a 3-year sentence for burglary. Let's begin. Insecurity, meaning the state of not being safe or protected. Example, due to his insecurity, he always felt that others were making fun of him. Adolescence is often a period of insecurity. Let's begin. Victim, meaning someone who has suffered because of the actions of someone else. Example, the victims of crime often need help and support to recover from their bad experience. Let's begin. Drug trafficking, meaning trading drugs illegally. Example, the police arrested the man for drugs trafficking. She had been making out with a man who might be involved in drug trafficking. Let's begin. Address, meaning to try to deal with the problem. Example, the problem created by traffic pollution must be addressed urgently. Social problems must be addressed by community networks. Let's begin. Compulsion, meaning the state of being compelled to do something that you do not want to do. Example, the legal system is based on compulsion. The child felt a compulsion to run as he walked past the old house. Let's begin. The compel, meaning to force someone to do something. Example, the law will compel employers to provide health insurance. The teacher cannot compel good work for unwilling students. Let's begin. To impose discipline, meaning to make people obey the rules of particular organization, school or college. Example, Harry reacted by imposing tough discipline and demanding better results. Management imposed discipline that is too harsh. If teacher fail to impose discipline in class, then students will not learn anything. Let's begin. Disqualified, meaning to stop somebody from doing something because they have done something wrong. Example, He had been drinking and driving and he was disqualified from driving for 7 months. She was disqualified from a competition when she refused to empty her pockets after a letter disappeared. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams for more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, actual test and speaking cricket guesswork. Please guys participate in everyday listening and reading practices to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. Please provide your views and suggestions below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.